and Rishi Sunak being in the headlines for all the wrong reasons. Now, was there wrongdoing on part of Rishi Sunak, or was there a possible failure to declare his wife's stake in a childcare firm? Well, the British Parliament's Commissioner for Standards has now opened an investigation into Rishi Sunak. The investigation is linked to his wife Akshata Murthy's shareholding in a childcare firm, Koru Kids. The Liberal Democrats Party has called for an investigation after the media said that Akshata was a shareholder in a company that would benefit from a government policy on funding for children announced in the budget in the last month. Remember, the opposition, the Liberal Democrats, had flagged this fact last month. They had called for further explanations at a hearing of the liaison committee. Under the Code of Conduct, all members of Parliament are required to provide information about any financial interest which might influence a member's action or votes in the Parliament. Sanjay Suri, my colleague, getting us the very latest from on ground there in London. Sanjay, we know an investigation has been opened up now, but have we heard from Rishi Sunak himself or from his wife?
We have heard from Rishi Sunak in relation to this investigation and in fact to the allegation. The allegation of a potential conflict of interest arises from the fact that, as you were pointing out, there is this company Koru Kids that provides childcare services, and it is among 6 companies that have been shortlisted by the government to undertake a new program that the government is putting into place at the moment as a pilot project. So clearly this company stands potentially to gain. This company, where Akshata Murthy has a significant shareholding, stands to gain from the government scheme that of course has been introduced with her husband as Prime Minister. So that's where the allegation of conflict comes from. The question then is whether there have been any relationships between the company and the government, and we know that the chief executives of this company were invited to Downing Street, so another area of commonality, or at least perception of commonality. The question is whether there was impropriety on the part of Rishi Sunak, and that arises from 2 registers, an MP's register and a minister's register. This is where members of Parliament and ministers declare their business interests. Now, in the MP's register, there is no declaration of this interest, but Rishi Sunak says, and no doubt this would be true, that he declared it to the cabinet, which is to say that he declared it for the purpose of the minister's register. The difficulty is that that register has not been updated publicly for more than a year. So nobody can see this for themselves, though of course there's no doubt that what Rishi Sunak says must be quite correct. There's a further complication, a third and a final complication here. The fact is that only last month a House of Commons committee had an inquiry into this childcare issue. Over there, Rishi Sunak testified. He was asked whether he has anything to say further on this. He said he has nothing to say, that these disclosures have been made in the usual way. Now, it is the rule within such committees that anyone presenting themselves must be full and candid in their declarations. The allegation is that Sunak was not. All this is relatively minor stuff, but it does add up to an image where Rishi Sunak is under the scanner again, yes, for perhaps not doing exactly the correct thing.
And how this plays out and what the investigation reveals, we'll find out. But for the moment, Sanjay, thank you so much.